You will stay stuck forever until you understand this. There's a hidden mechanism in your brain, in your body and being that determines every choice you make, every emotion you feel, and every result you get. And almost no one knows about it. I call them codes, and they're a level deeper than your typical brain training and neural rewiring. Unless your codes change, nothing else will. And there are two types. First, the master codes, the universal neurological and energy patterns that shape all of us. And then your personal codes, the unique patterns that you've developed through your life that give rise to your experience. If you've ever felt like you're doing the right things, but nothing changes, if you've ever improved for a moment only to collapse back into old patterns, if you've ever asked yourself, why can't I break through? This is why. You need to get in touch with your master codes and personal codes. Ask yourself, why does everything you try work for a moment, then fall apart? You know the pattern. You get inspired, you get motivated, you learn a new strategy, a new routine, a new habit, and for a few days you feel unstoppable. Then suddenly, a crash. You collapse, a snap back into the old you. Most people blame themselves. They think they're lazy, they think they lack discipline, or they think that they're just not enough. But the truth is far simpler and far more liberating. You didn't fail. Your codes simply overpowered your intention. Your codes fire faster than your motivation, faster than your logic, faster than your willpower. Codes live in the unconscious, and your unconscious runs 95% of your behavior. Until the codes change, nothing else can. This is how codes actually run your brain, body, and being. Think of a code as a deep pattern that's part of, but that also controls your brain patterns, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns, and energy patterns. And they fire up and run automatically. A code is stronger than a habit. It's deeper than a belief. It's more powerful than motivation. A code is the default setting your brain returns to when you're stressed or tired, overwhelmed, uncertain, afraid, or triggered. This is why you can know what to do, even want to do it, and still not do it. Your conscious mind says, I'm ready for a new life. But your codes say, no, we stay here. And your brain, body, and being will follow your codes. Ever wonder why positive thinking alone doesn't work and often makes things worse? Positive thinking on its own is a recipe for frustration and failure. Because positive thinking tries to paint a new picture on top of an old code. It's like putting new paint on a cracked wall. The cracks just keep pushing through again. When your internal code contradicts your positive thoughts, your brain doesn't believe you. And not only does positive thinking alone fail, it often makes you feel worse. Because now it feels like, I'm thinking positive, so why do I still feel stuck? What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Your codes simply don't match your intention yet. When your code shifts, your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and your results follow automatically. Let's go deeper. Remember, there's two types of codes that shape your entire life. First, the master codes. These are the universal neurological energy patterns that govern all your behavior. They shape your sense of safety, identity, direction, confidence, your emotional stability, and your ability to create lasting change. We all have them, and we either live in harmony with them, reaching success, joy, love, flow, and abundance, or in conflict with them, bringing stress, anxiety, and frustration. But almost no one is conscious of them. And second are your personal codes. These are the codes formed throughout life, from childhood until now. All your experiences, trauma, stress, relationships, victories, joy, losses, failure, success, culture, family, belief, even emotional history. These codes determine how much love you allow, how much success feels safe to you, how much abundance you receive, how deeply you trust, how resilient you are, how quickly you recover, and how far you allow yourself to rise. These two sets, the master codes and your personal codes, interact constantly. And here's the key. If your personal codes are not in harmony and aligned with your master codes, the life you want will always be out of reach. You'll feel resistance, friction, and you will always snap back to old patterns. This is why people stay stuck for years, not because they're broken or they aren't intelligent, but because their codes are misaligned. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do I change my codes? There are 3 steps, but I'm not going to teach them here, not because I don't want to, but because to truly change your codes requires a very specific sequence. And when I say sequence, I mean both the order of the neurological shifts and the order of the emotional and energetic shifts necessary. This is why trying to change your life through willpower, motivation, affirmations, strategies, or even therapy alone often fails. They're working on the surface, but codes exist underneath the surface. Here's what I can tell you. When you shift your codes, everything else becomes easier. You no longer have to force yourself to change. The change happens from the inside out. Your emotions become aligned. Your habits become natural. Your decisions become effortless, and your momentum becomes stable. And instead of snapping back to old patterns, you rise and you flow. One woman I worked with was stuck in a 12-year loop of self-sabotage. She would rise, then collapse, rise, then collapse again. She believed she had a discipline problem, a motivation problem, and a self-worth problem. But once we slowed it down and traced it back to the level of her codes, it became clear that her personal codes, written early on and repeated throughout life in moments of unpredictability, fear, or emotional instability, these patterns kept her in a cycle that she couldn't break free from, even though she was doing all the right things. Those codes contradicted the life she wanted. When we shifted the codes, not with willpower or pep talks, not with positive affirmations, but through the sequence I teach in the Elite Life Code, her entire life reorganized. And it's not because she tried harder, but because she became aligned. And true alignment makes things effortless. If you feel like you're doing everything right, but nothing changes or not at the rate you want, if you rise then crash, if you know what to do but don't follow through, or if you feel like you're carrying patterns that don't belong to you anymore, it's not you. It's your inner codes. And when your code shifts, your life shifts. Now, if you want to explore this deeper, I created a free masterclass and I welcome you to it. I'll walk you through the 3 master codes, why you've been stuck, and the sequence I use to help you rewire your brain, rewire your body and being so that you can finally live the life you know is possible. It's totally free and you can join through the link below. And whether you join or not, remember this one thing. You will stay stuck forever until you understand your codes and start to transform them. But once you do, your freedom becomes inevitable.